Welcome back to another vlog. My name is SAJJAD and today I've come to New Hampshire to see the Flume Gorge. There is the entrance right there. One thing I have to mention before I enter the Flume Gorge is that you have to make the reservation for this gorge. You have to select the basically slot, which slot you want to come and visit it. It's about 2 miles long walking tour, and the gorge it's a chasm basically made of Conway granite, which was discovered in late 1800s. I'm going to talk about all the history of it once I am on the gorge or on the trail. But before I head in there, I just want to let you guys know, once we enter through here, this is the exit. So that's the visitor center as well. So I'm going to go and see the visitor center on my way out. So let's just go ahead, show the ticket, and then see how it goes. So before I go and get myself checked in, I just want to take a look over here and see what do we have here. So this is Franconia Notch State Park, and these are all the activities you can do here. So let's just go ahead and get on the flume. So I'm going to talk about all the history of the area, but here we have some information as well. If somebody wants to read it, they can pause the video and obviously they can read the whole thing. But it says this is a 2-mile self-guided nature walk. So let's just go ahead and do the walk. Alright, do you need a map?
Get my fingers to work.
Got it.
There you go, right around the building out.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. On the pamphlet I just received, we have some history of the flume, basically a welcome note, how it was formed, the map, and that's it. So let's just go ahead and see how the flume is, or how beautiful the flume is. So the trail is this way, and this is the back side of the visitor center. But let's just go ahead and see the flume, the gorge, the chasm, whatever you call it. But let's just go ahead and see it. This is the trail we are taking, and the same trail, it's basically in and out trail. So once I go in, I think I would have to stay on the right trail and then go on the flume, and then eventually go on the loop and come back out. But once I'm on the Flume Gorge or the trail, I'm going to talk about the history of this whole place. So the flume is on the right side, and here we have the glacial boulder. Let me try to lift it up. It's really heavy, I cannot lift it. I need to go to the gym. Okay, that was a bad joke, but let's just talk about the history. Lucky for me, they provide us with some. So this is a glacial boulder, as we know from here, but they say that they're big enough. Most of them weighed over 300 tons, and during the last ice age 25,000 years ago, a great ice sheet more than a mile thick moved over this area. The mass of the ice was so powerful it moved both large and small boulders. As the ice sheet retreated, these boulders were left behind. They are called the glacial erratics. So right over here is a glacial erratic right behind me. It's a good view, I guess, but let's just leave this glacial erratic over here and go towards the flume, which is this way. I would have to go down the hill. Let's just take a look from here, but that's the boulder over there. Okay, so I think I would have to go all the way down there. I don't know if you guys can hear the water from here, but the stream is pretty strong. So let's just go ahead. One thing I know for sure is that I'm gonna have a hard time coming back up. So you can see the water rapids are pretty strong. It looks pretty nice. The weather is cold, however I'm sweating, so it's a good mixture of ice and hard, I guess, or cold and hard. But we have a covered bridge over there, so let's just go ahead and see. This is the Flume covered bridge. Obviously, I think when I'm coming back and going towards the visitor center, I might go on the trail or the road that goes under the roof. But right under the bridge is this river. And let's see, like, I mean, if we can find some information about it. But you can see it looks pretty nice and amazing. Let's just go ahead and go towards the Flume Gorge. I've spent more than enough time at this place already. So it's called the Pemigewasset River. So the river name is Pemigewasset River. And then that reminds me, I have to talk about how this place was discovered. So let's just get on the trail first, and then I'm going to talk about it. All right, so here we have some information about the bridge. You can pause the video and read. But basically it says that the whole purpose of covering the bridge was to protect it. But then here they talk about the Pemigewasset River. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or not, but it says that the stream you see here is the Pemigewasset, and Abenaki Indian word meaning swift, flowing out of Profile Lake at an elevation of 1900 feet. The river drains Franconia Notch and is fed by many small streams that fall from the steep mountainsides that line this valley. I was going on the trail, but then I saw this building over here. It says Boulder Cabin. That's the trail that I have to take. But let's just go in and take a look what we have here. Boulder Cabin is basically empty, it's just restrooms, and they have some information about the wildlife that's found here. You can see only the pictures right now. I think it's still under construction. And here they have some information about, or the pictures about Parks and Recreation. Mount Washington, which is right here. Okay, and I just saw the skulls. So this belongs to a moose, and this skull is from a 100 lab black bear, and then this is from a 400 lab black bear. And then over here we have some samples of the minerals. This is convex granite, biotite mica. But then if you look at this picture over here, you can see the boulder in the middle. I think in the early 1900s or mid 1900s that fell, and that shaped the waterfall that we're gonna see up on the trail. I thought this trail would be easy, but it's not. So I just left the Boulder Cabin, and now I am going up the hill. And what do we have here? So the water is pretty cold. It's pretty nice, but you can see the view. It's amazing, really scenic. So let's just go ahead. So this is the Flume Gorge. Basically, here they have the history of it. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about it. I think this is the right place to talk about the history of this place. So they say that nearly 200 million years ago, during the Jurassic period, the Conway granite that forms the walls of the Flume Gorge was deeply buried molten rock. As it cooled, the granite was broken by closely spaced vertical fractures which lay nearly parallel in northeasterly direction. Sometime after the fractures were formed, small dikes of basalt were forced up into the fractures. The basalt came from deep within the earth as a fluid material and because of pressure was able to force its way into the Conway granite. The basalt crystallized quickly against the relatively cold granite. Because of this quick cooling, basalt is a fine-grained rock. Had the material ever reached the surface, it would have become lava flows. Erosion gradually lowered the Earth's surface and exposed the dikes. As the overlying rock was worn away, pressure was relieved and horizontal cracks developed which allowed water to get into the rock's layer. The basalt dikes erodes faster than the surrounding Conway granite, creating a deepening valley where the gorge is now. The gorge was covered by glaciers during the Ice Age. Towards the end of that period, the glaciers retreated and partially filled the valley with glacial debris and removed soil and weathered rock from vicinity. After the Ice Age, Flume Brook began to flow through the valley again. One more thing, the gorge was discovered by Jess Garnowski in 1808, but they say Abenaki people knew it before that, but they never got the recognition. So here they have explained that before June 20, 1883, this is how the gorge would have looked like. But after the earthquake, it fell, and this is the modern shape of the gorge we have right now. But again, it is really amazing. here we have a bear cave. Let's just go in and check it out. I think the bear left for groceries, or maybe he moved out because it's a very busy area. Poor joke, but I'm trying. The reason I can never be a stand-up, you know. But this is it. This is the bear cave. I hope the bear don't see me, but here we go. Let's just go out from here and then go on the main trail. But it was definitely worth it, you know, the hike. It was very scenic. The chasm was very beautiful. But let's just go up from here. So I'm on top of the chasm. This is the water that goes to, I think, the avalanche fall. That right over there. You can see, but it's definitely worth it. It's very scenic. Obviously, you know, you have to have some stamina to come all the way from down there to up here. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head to the viewpoint over there to see how it looks from there, and then head back to the main trail, and then we'll see how it goes, because I think the only thing left over here is the wolf den, and that's it. So let's see how it goes. So this is it. This is the viewpoint we have of the avalanche fall. Let me back up a little bit because I don't know how clear my voice is, because the water sound is pretty loud. But I came up from there. You can see the chasm from here. It's pretty nice. Obviously, the scenery is really beautiful. I hope, you know, I mean, I wish they have allowed us to go on that rock over there. This one right here. But let's just, you know, leave that for the next time. Maybe, you know, like when I come back, I might go and stand on top of that and see. Actually, no. I think there's a crack. So I'm not doing that. But this is definitely worth it. This is definitely worth the hike. So let's just leave this area and go on the main trail. And I think we have to see the wolf den. So let's see how that goes. So this is the viewpoint we get from top of the trail. Obviously, I've been here for quite a bit now. Definitely it's worth it. I don't know if the camera is doing the justice or not, but it is very nice. But I guess it's time for me to go. I think the gorge that I just came from, or earlier, you know, I came from, is down there somewhere. But let's just leave from here. And I would have to make a left from there, and then I think Wolf Den is the next stop. Alright, so here we have another rain shelter, and I am by Liberty Gorge right here. The wolf den will be over here, so just around the trail. So let's just go ahead. So this is it. This is Liberty Gorge. I was literally up over there by the rain shelter, and now I'm here. It is amazing. It's definitely, you know, like beautiful. At this point, I'm tired. So, but you can see the height. It is definitely worth the trip, I guess. I mean, obviously, it's not free. You know, if somebody's planning to come here, they have to make the reservation and all. But it's worth it. But now I'm gonna go head back up and go to the trail and see the wolf den, and think from there it's only the visitor center that's left. So let's go. This viewpoint is used to see the pool, which is literally right over there. I don't know how clear it is in the camera, but it says that it was formed 25,000 years ago by a silt-laden stream flowing from the glacier during the basically by the ice sheet. And I'm gonna leave it here, so you know, if somebody wants to read, they can read it. But they say that the diameter of the bowl is 150 feet. And then the pool itself is 40 feet deep. However, the mountains or the cliffs surrounding the pool is about 80 feet high, which is pretty nice. So it's about 80 feet high, and then that's the pool right there, as I've said before. And now I am gonna go back up and towards the covered bridge, and then on my way to the visitor center. So right next to the bridge, we have the wolf den. Basically, they said it's a narrow one-way path, involves crawling on your hand and knees and squeezing in between rocks. So I'm gonna try and do that, but from what I've heard is that it's crowded in there. So let's see how it goes. But I'm heading in there right now. yeah, it's pretty dark in here. Let me try to get some light and see what we have here. So this is the wolf den right here. It's too narrow for me. I don't think I can do it. I think this is the best creepy look I can have over here. But yeah, I'm gonna go back because as you can see, it's not enough space for me to go through. So let's just go ahead and get back from here and get back on the main trail. So finally I've come back from the wolf den and now I'm heading up the trail. So this is the exit of wolf den. Let's just go ahead and see where it comes out. But I came all the way under this rock. Let's see how it goes over here. Obviously I'm not gonna go in, but I just want to see how it is. So this is where I would have come out. Yeah, I think I made the right choice. The space is too narrow over here. So I guess I should go to the visitor center now. So here we have three mountains. The first one is Mount Liberty, which is this one, then Mount Flume right there, and then Mount Osseo. Mount Liberty is 4,460 feet high. Mount Flume is 4,327 feet high, and then Mount Osseo, which is the last one, is 3,834 feet high. And this is the southern end of Franconia range. And then this also says that the Appalachian Trail crosses over Mount Liberty on its way from Maine to Georgia. Mount Liberty is said to look like George Washington lying in state. Okay, so there it is. So right now I'm heading towards the visitor center. Let's see how it goes. But this tree was wrapped around the rock or the boulder. Amazing. Let's go towards the visitor center now. So finally I'm back to the starting point of the trail. In the beginning we went on this trail to go towards the gorge, and that was the glacier boulder that we saw in the morning time. But now let's just go towards the visitor center. Finally I am at the visitor center, and let's just go in and see how it is. This is the entrance to the visitor center. However, we have a better view of the mountains over here. We have Mount Liberty, Flume, and Whaleback Mountain. I think on the top viewpoint we had the Ocasio, I guess. I have to check my footage, but the view looked pretty nice. Now I am heading back, or heading towards the visitor center, but let me just observe the view a little more. I guess it's time for me to go in, but we have some more information here. Again, I'm gonna leave it like that, so just in case somebody want to read, they can pause the video and read it. And now let's go in. This is the map of Flume, and I am right here. I did the whole loop. This is the Flume Gorge that I did earlier, but it was definitely worth it. But now I guess it's time to go into the visitor center, maybe go through the gift store and then call it a day. So let's see how it goes. In the visitor center we have the Concord coach. This was built in Concord, New Hampshire between 1826 and 1900 by Abbott, Downing and Company, and they were used in many parts of the world. And one shipment in 1863 to Omaha, Nebraska included 30 coaches and 64 horse harnesses. And this coach over here is coach number 431, built in 1874, carried mail and passengers between Plymouth, New Hampshire and the Profile House in Franconia, Notch, making its last run in 1911. And it's called a Tally-Ho coach. It was found in Vermont in 1933 and returned to the Flume area, where it remains as a remainder of the colorful past. So that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was my first vlog in New Hampshire. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I was at the Flume Gorge. It was definitely worth the trip. I mean, this video might be a little lengthy, but again, I tried to cover everything to the best of my knowledge, or what I was able to find or record. But I think this is the best point for me to say goodbye. As I said before, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, do let me know in the comment section. And do check out my other vlogs as well. And what we have here, reminiscent of the past. So this is this is me calling from the past to the future. I think this is cringe enough, but yeah, as I've said before, I hope you guys like the video. If you did, make sure you like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and I see you guys in my next video. Until then, take care. Thank you very much.